Now ending it off with the performance, this device had that Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset, an octa-core CPU, an Adreno 640 GPU, and 12 gigs of RAM on the single model that it came out with. And I think when it comes down to the performance standpoint of this device, as I mentioned before, it's a solid performing device still. Now when it's folded, I feel like it's faster than when it's unfolded because it has less pixels to push, but either or, this is still an extremely fast phone without a doubt. Really, anything you're going to do with it, in my opinion, it's going to be able to handle it perfectly fine. Now, the only thing in my opinion that does kind of date it is the lack of, 120 hertz or 90 hertz. That's kind of become a standard across the board, and unfortunately we don't get it from this device. I still think it's okay though. It still feels plenty smooth, it still feels plenty fast, but it would have been cool had this thing had a little bit more capability when it came down to that. However, really for every other purposes you're going to use this phone for, it's going to be perfectly fine. One thing that I love about this phone is the experience when it comes down to the performance. The fact that you have that big of a display on this phone is extremely impressive, and as I mentioned before, it's one of my favorite things that I love about this phone. The fact that you can go ahead and boot up, maybe like Google Docs on one side and take your notes on the other side of the screen. I really love that. But also, let's say you want to go ahead and, have YouTube playing on one side, a full YouTube app, and something else on the other side. It just makes it feel that much better of an experience, and it makes it feel that much more dynamic in my opinion. I just feel like this is the way it should be. When I have my phone and it's like, the landscape and it's like portrait and I have like one app on top of the other, I like that. I think it's fine. But something like the iPad way, I really like that stuff for sure. So without a doubt, I think the performance is great. There's not that much to complain about. Again, it's not perfect, but I think still it's not even that dated when it comes down to it. So in terms of the performance, that pretty much covers it up. Not to